Ish, my friend, I see you. I really do. Maybe right now, as you're listening to my voice, there's a quiet hum of worry in your spirit, a little tremor in your heart that no one else quite sees. I know that feeling, that deep, unsettling churn when everything around you feels like it's shifting, like the ground you thought was solid is suddenly not. Perhaps it's a job, a relationship, a dream you held so tight, or even just the rhythm of life itself that has taken an unexpected turn. You wake up some mornings, don't you, with this heavy question hanging over you. What now? You look at the future, and instead of a clear path, it's just fog. A thick, confusing mist where you can't see the next step, let alone the horizon. And honestly, my friend, it can be terrifying. It's like you're standing on the edge of a great roaring ocean, and the waves are crashing, threatening to pull you under. You feel that fear, that anxiety, that sense of being completely adrift, don't you? That feeling that your anchor has been lifted and you're just floating, hoping not to crash. Ish, I know that feeling of your foot slipping when you thought you had it all together, when you thought you knew the plan. Maybe you're exhausted from pretending you're okay, from putting on that brave face for the world, when inside, your heart is just aching for a moment of peace, a whisper of certainty. You're asking, will things ever be calm again? You're wondering where God is in all this chaos, aren't you? You're longing for a hand to hold, a voice to say, it's going to be all right. That deep, guttural sigh that escapes you when you're alone, when the silence is too loud, and your thoughts are racing, chasing each other in a dizzying circle of what ifs and if onlys. You're tired, my friend. You are truly, deeply tired. You see others moving forward, seemingly unaffected, and a part of you feels left behind, or maybe even a little resentful. Shame. Why them and not me? Why is my path so full of thorns and shadows right now? This season of change, this uncertainty, it's not just external, is it? It digs deep into your very soul, challenging your faith, your identity, your sense of purpose. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about yourself, about life, about God. You feel like the very earth is giving way beneath you, and the mountains are falling into the heart of the sea, and the waters are roaring and foaming, and the mountains quake with their surging. It's too much, isn't it? That feeling of being overwhelmed, of trying to grasp at something, anything, to hold on to, but your hands just keep coming up empty. Ish, my friend, listen to me. Let me tell you what happened to me, because I've been where you are. I've known that exact ache, that very same confusion, that profound sense of being utterly lost. It was a few years ago, when everything I thought was stable, everything I had built my life around, just crumbled. I had this job, this career path, this whole future mapped out in my mind. A beautiful, clear picture. And then, without warning, it was gone. Just like that. The company restructured, and I, along with so many others, found myself standing in an unexpected, stark reality: unemployment. Ish, the shock of it. It wasn't just a job. It was my identity, my contribution, my sense of security. I remember getting that call, the polite, corporate voice on the other end explaining the difficult decision. My heart literally sank, my friend, like a stone in a deep well. I felt this rush of heat, then cold, then just numbness. I walked out of that office building that day, and the sun was shining, people were laughing, life was carrying on. But for me, the world had just turned gray. I felt a wave of embarrassment wash over me, a deep shame that I had failed, that I hadn't seen it coming, that I wasn't good enough. My mind was a whirlwind of questions. How will I pay the bills? What will I tell my family? What am I even going to do now? All the plans, all the certainties, gone in a puff of smoke. Truly, my friend, it felt like my house, built so carefully, had suddenly lost its foundation, and the winds were blowing, threatening to tear it all down. I was standing there, utterly exposed, utterly vulnerable, with no idea where to turn. That feeling, that moment of raw, gut-wrenching pain and confusion, I know it, my friend. I know it deep in my bones, just like you know it now. My friend, I remember those nights so clearly, like they were just yesterday. The darkness in my room felt heavier, thicker, almost suffocating. Sleep, which used to come so easily, became a stranger. I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, sometimes for hours, the silence amplifying every single anxious thought, every doubt, every fear. I'd try to pray, but the words would feel like ashes in my mouth, hollow and meaningless. I'd start, Lord, I don't understand. And then the tears would come, hot and fast, soaking my pillow. Not just tears of sadness, but tears of frustration, of confusion, of a deep, soul-weary ache. It felt like my spirit was crying out, a silent wail that no one could hear, not even God himself, or so it seemed. And I know this sounds familiar to you, doesn't it? That ache in your chest, that tightness in your throat when you try to speak about it, that feeling of being utterly alone in your struggle. I know that ache too, my friend. I remember questioning everything. I'd go through my day, putting on a brave face, smiling, nodding, participating in conversations, but inside, my mind was a whirlwind of why and how long. I would read scriptures about God's faithfulness, about his plans for prosperity, about seeds growing and harvests coming, and a bitter taste would rise in my mouth. Why not for me, Lord? I'd whisper, almost angrily. Am I not your child? Have I not served you? Have I not given my best? I started to feel like a hypocrite, preaching hope to others when my own well of hope felt utterly dry. I even started to doubt the vision itself. Was it really from God? Or was it just my own ambition, my own selfish desire, masquerading as divine inspiration? The enemy, he's so cunning, isn't he? He loves to whisper those lies when you're at your weakest, when you're feeling stagnant and forgotten. He'll tell you, see, God doesn't care. You're not good enough. You're wasting your time. Just give up. And honestly, my friend, there were days, many days, when I was so close to doing just that, to throwing in the towel, to abandoning the dream, to just settling for something less, something easier, something that wouldn't cause this persistent gnawing pain. I remember one specific morning. The sun was shining, birds were singing outside, but inside me, it was a storm. I was sitting at my kitchen table, a half-eaten plate of food in front of me, but I couldn't taste anything. My phone rang, and it was a friend, full of excitement about a new opportunity that had just opened up for them, something they had been praying for. And instead of feeling pure joy for them, a wave of bitterness, of self-pity washed over me. I felt like such a terrible person for it, for not being able to genuinely celebrate their blessing without comparing it to my own perceived lack. It was then that I truly felt the depth of my spiritual weariness. Colossians 1:11 says, being strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience and joyfully giving thanks. But at that moment, I felt no power, no glorious might, no endurance, and certainly no joyful giving of thanks. I felt weak, impatient, and utterly ungrateful. I felt like I was failing God, failing myself, failing everyone who had believed in me. I felt like a branch that was not bearing fruit, and the words of John 15:4-5 echoed in my mind. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. And there I was, feeling utterly fruitless, wondering if I had somehow detached myself from the vine without even realizing it. I questioned my connection, my spiritual health, everything. The waiting wasn't just about the outcome of my dream anymore. It became a deep, personal crisis of faith. I remember thinking, how long, Lord? How long must my soul wait silently for God alone, for my expectation to be from him, as Psalm 62:5 says? It felt like an eternity. My soul longed for him like a thirsty land, as Psalm 143:6 describes. Every day felt like an uphill battle against discouragement and the temptation to just give up. Galatians 6:9 kept whispering in my heart, Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. But the proper time felt like an abstract concept, a cruel joke when I was living in the present, in the slow, stagnant now. I was desperate for a sign, for a whisper, for anything to tell me that God was still there, still working, still mindful of me. I felt like I was watching for the morning more than those who watch for the morning, as Psalm 135-6 beautifully puts it. My soul was fainting for his salvation, hoping in his word, as Psalm 119:81 reminds us. But the dawn felt so far away, shrouded in a thick, impenetrable fog. That, my friend, was the storm I was weathering. A storm of silence, stagnation, and profound spiritual doubt. And if you are in that storm right now, please know you are not alone. I've been there. I know the chill, the fear, the isolation. But then, my friend, in that very darkest hour, when my spirit felt utterly depleted, when I was truly at the end of myself, God, in his infinite, tender mercy, stepped in. It wasn't a thunderclap or a booming voice from the sky. No. It was much softer, much more intimate. It was a gentle whisper, a quiet revelation that began to unfold in my heart, little by little, like the first rays of morning light chasing away the shadows. I was reading my Bible, more out of habit than genuine expectation at that point, just going through the motions, And I stumbled upon a passage, Mark 4:27-28, where Jesus talks about a farmer who scatters seed on the land, and then, night and day, whether he sleeps or gets up, the seed sprouts and grows, though he does not know how. All by itself, the soil produces grain, first the stalk, then the head, then the full kernel in the head. My friend, it hit me like a revelation. All this time, I had been so focused on the visible growth, on the observable progress, on the immediate fruit. I was trying to micromanage God's garden. But he was showing me that there is so much happening beneath the surface, in the quiet, hidden places that I cannot see, cannot control, and frankly, don't even need to understand. The seed sprouts and grows, even when the farmer is asleep, even when he does not know how. It happens all by itself. That's God working, my precious one. He's working in the dark, in the quiet, in the stagnant moments, preparing the soil, germinating the seed, strengthening the roots, long before anything breaks through the surface for us to see. He reminded me of the mustard seed in Matthew 13:31-32. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, yet when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches. That's you, my friend. Your dream, your calling, your season of growth might feel small, insignificant, even invisible right now, like that tiny mustard seed. But God is tending to it, nurturing it, preparing it to become something magnificent, something that will provide shade and shelter for others. And then he showed me Matthew 13:33. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into about 60 pounds of flour until it worked all through the dough. You see, yeast works silently, imperceptibly, throughout the whole mass of dough. You don't see it working initially, but you know it's there, transforming, expanding, making the dough rise. That's what God is doing in your life right now. He's working through your circumstances, through your waiting, through your very spirit, transforming you, expanding you, preparing you for the next season. It's a silent, internal work, building character, strengthening your faith, teaching you perseverance. He was showing me that the stagnation I felt wasn't emptiness, but a season of deep, foundational work. He was growing me, not just my dream. He was teaching me to be still and know that I am God, as Psalm 46:10 gently reminds us. He was directing my heart into his love and into the patience of Christ, just as 2 Thessalonians 3:5 promises. And then another truth opened up to me from Matthew 13:29-30, where Jesus talks about letting the wheat and the weeds grow together until the harvest. My friend, Sometimes, in our impatience, we try to uproot things prematurely. We want to clear out all the weeds, the challenges, the obstacles, the things that feel stagnant right now. But God knows that sometimes, in our haste, we might uproot the very wheat, the good things that He is cultivating. He has perfect timing. He asks us to persevere, as Hebrews 10:36 says, so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. He wants us to imitate those who through faith and patience inherit what has been promised, as Hebrews 6:12 encourages. He's not being cruel by making you wait. He's perfecting something beautiful within you. James 1:3-4 became a balm to my weary soul. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Ish, that hit home. All this time, I thought the stagnation was a sign of my lack, but God was using it to complete me, to make me mature. He was teaching me to remain in Him, to trust that He is the vine, and if I remain in Him, I will bear much fruit, even when I don't see it immediately. He was teaching me a deeper level of surrender, a deeper trust in His unseen hand. My friend, God is doing the same for you, my precious one. Don't lose hope. Don't believe the lies that nothing is happening. God is working in the unseen. He is cultivating, germinating, strengthening, preparing. Your season of stagnation is not a season of abandonment. It is a season of profound foundational growth. He is building something incredible in you and through you. Trust His timing, trust His process. Just like the farmer, you don't need to know how the seed grows. You just need to trust the sower. God is coming for you. He sees you, He hears you, and He is working on your behalf, even now. If this touched you, if you feel seen and understood in this moment, please, my friend, share your story in the comments. We want to pray with you. You're not alone in this journey, my dear. We are a family here, walking through these seasons together, lifting each other up and reminding each other of God's unwavering faithfulness. Let us stand with you, pray with you, and believe with you for the harvest that is surely coming. My dear friend, remember that even in the quietest, most stagnant seasons, God is tirelessly at work, cultivating growth deep within your spirit and preparing the ground for the beautiful harvest He has promised. Hold on to hope, for His timing is perfect and His love for you is unwavering. Final prayer. Lord, bless the person listening right now, my dear friend who is feeling the weight of waiting, the ache of stagnation, and the weariness of a silent season. Father, I pray for a fresh anointing of courage and strength to fill their spirit. Where doubt has crept in, replace it with unwavering faith. Where weariness has settled, ignite a renewed fire of hope. May they feel your tangible presence, a warm embrace reminding them that they are seen, heard, and deeply loved. Grant them the grace to persevere, to trust in your unseen work, and to know that you are cultivating something beautiful in the darkness. Bring breakthrough, Lord, in your perfect timing, and flood their hearts with your profound peace. May they feel your hand guiding them, reassuring them, and lifting them up. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. My friend, be honest with us. When life felt utterly stagnant, like you were stuck in quicksand, and God seemed silent, what was the most raw, vulnerable prayer you offered? If you feel comfortable, share a tiny glimpse of that moment and how you held on to faith, even by a thread. Now let's pour out some love. If you could offer one word of comfort or a short prayer to someone silently reading this right now who feels completely unseen in their waiting, what would you say to remind them they are not forgotten? We're here for you all. Dear friend, there are moments when the slow pace of life can feel like a heavy burden, testing every fiber of our faith. Can you bravely share a time when you felt utterly worn out by the weight, but then, looking back, you saw God's gentle hand shaping something beautiful within you, even if it wasn't the outcome you expected? We're here for you, no judgment. Now, let's extend our hearts. If you see someone in your mind right now who is deep in a season of slow, painful waiting, what specific prayer or word of life would you speak over them?
knowing that God is still at work in their story. Let's lift each other up, my friend.